Again, thank you everyone for jumping on. It'll be a short one today, but we still wanted to go ahead and get everyone together and
No, you can't have
talk about items. Have a question, but for now, if everyone could just go ahead and mute. So we get a few extra people joining us in the last second here. So with that, Peyton, Simon, can I get you to unmute and give us a quick benediction, please? Put you on the spot here.
Oh boy. To be honest, I always forget what benediction means. So
a short prayer.
Oh, okay. Quick thinking. All right, my specialty. Could everyone please assume an attitude of prayer? Dear God, we thank you for having time for this meeting, and please bless everyone out there who are fighting the coronavirus, and please let it be gone so we can have a safe life after. Amen.
Amen. Thank
Quality
you, Peyton.
prayer.
Good job. Real quick, Dakota, just want to double check. You are recording this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So that anybody that asks later, if they want to get on and see what we covered, you can direct them to that. And I'm sure Dakota will have that posted on the website or Facebook sometime later today. First of all, hope everyone is doing well. To the best of my knowledge, I have not heard of any of our members or any specific advisors that have been affected so far. So that's something to certainly be thankful for. We hope that continues. If anyone does run into any issues, anyone does get basically in any sort of hardship situation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. The whole point of this organization is that we treat each other like family, and we are intending to support each other in every way that we can. So don't be shy, please. As far as our current Safer at Home status, I'm sure you've all seen that Governor Evers extended the Safer at Home through May 26th. When I first saw that date, I thought, oh, great, we'll be open up in time for Memorial Day weekend, not realizing that the 26th was the Tuesday after Memorial Day. So I am really hoping that something changes and that we hopefully open up before Memorial Day, because I would still really like for us to have planning weekend. So for those of you that are state staff, state officers, if you can kind of keep a soft opening for Memorial Day weekend, not that you can really plan much with the Safer at Home order the way it is. But if there's any way that we can have planning weekend at Oatmeal Lake, we will. If we can't, we'll work on, probably trying to do some of those discussions via Zoom. And the incoming team of state officers and state staff will work on, trying to get some more details knocked out on that as we get closer. But we're going to have to be very flexible on that for right now. The real question for those of you that may or may not be following along, there is so much stuff out there on social media and everything else right now that really make sure that if you're looking at stuff, look at things that are coming from trusted sources. And I don't mean various news media. In all honesty, we're talking about looking at stuff directly from CDC, directly from the World Health Organization, specifically looking at, there's a lot of people, I've read articles out there that sounded very professional and were written by doctors, only to find out at the end that doctor's an anesthesiologist, not an epidemiologist. So just be very cognizant of anything that you're reading. It's great to educate yourself, to know what's going on. The real thing that we are battling right now is it really is the testing issue. The problem is that we really need 2 tests out there we talk about this opening back up. Well, the one test that tells you whether or not you have it is great, but the test we really need to know for opening things up is the test that tells you if you have had the coronavirus and already have the antibodies, so that you don't have to worry about getting it now. If we can roll those tests out, and the people that have already had it or have those antibodies built in, well then, there's no reason to tell those people they have to stay home, that they can go out and they can, participate in the workforce and other things. So I expect that we're going to see a lot more coming out about that, those two different kinds of testing becoming more available, and that those will likely be a big part of the requirement of these opening up efforts, not only in Wisconsin, but in other states as well. Again, the big problem is that these testing kits have to be manufactured, and those don't get created overnight. So some of these places that are making it, if they have the capacity of 50,000 of these a week or a month, well, we have 337 million people in this country. It's going to take a while to get enough tests out there to start actually getting through the population and figuring out who can get out and who is still at risk. So those are some things you may want to keep an eye on. I will tell you, if there's some people you do want to follow on social media, there's two that I highly recommend. One is Dr. Christina Baxter. She is not an epidemiologist, but she is a doctorate, has a doctorate in chemistry, and she does a ton of research for the fire and hazmat groups, and with personal protection equipment. And she has been great at taking a lot of the stuff coming out of the CDC and kind of breaking it down into layman's terms. Another one is, oh shoot, I can't remember now if it's Douglas Wolf or Herbert Wolf. I think it's Herbert Wolf, and he is a epidemiologist, and he is very close to this scenario. And I've been following a lot of his posts pretty religiously to see what the updates are most recently. So that's enough on that. You guys, gals, can all watch the same daily updates that I do, but like I said, just when it comes down to the social media, definitely pick and choose your sources with care. I know we have a lot of chapters that have jumped in and have been doing virtual meetings. Thank you guys, gals, so much, the members, the advisors, for continuing to make that happen and provide this DMLA experience for our members in our new normal, which is just weird. So you're all making the best of it, and I can't thank you enough for working to make that happen. There are different options to do or to choose from with these virtual meetings, and I think Joe is maybe going to try to generate some conversation or discussion at the end here about what else you guys think you'd like to see us try here. And so when we get to that point or that portion, please unmute and offer suggestions. If it's getting real crowded talking, throw it into the chat room so that Joe can pick up on it, and we can keep that conversation going there. Because of the extended safer at home order, sadly, Joe may want to hide his face a little bit right now. We have had to postpone the testimonial, so we will not be able to go tell funny stories about Joe. I'm sure having attended Dad Rob Simon's testimonial, I'm sure he might have preferred we not have his, but Joe, I'm sure we're going to have something for you. We've been in contact with Mom Jay. We're going to try and get something done here. We don't know when. Hopefully, if Conclave is still a goal, which right at this moment it still is, we are going to, if nothing else, your testimonial may be part of the Conclave banquet. So don't think you're going to get off that easy, Joe. Elections. So the state officer elections, basically we had the April 15th deadline, which was actually, we were supposed to have intent to run submitted by 30 days prior to the elections. So the April 15th was actually a little short of that. It was only like 28 days or something like that. So with that, we did have individuals submit intent to run. So in no particular order, we congratulate Brother Chris Burgess from Kenosha on being elected to state marshal. Brother Henry Hursted from Kenosha being elected to state chaplain. Brother Joe DeFrancis being elected from Lincoln Ozaki, being elected to state junior counselor. Brother Gavin Masteller from Green Bay being elected to state senior counselor. We had only one sweetheart stay in the race, so we congratulate Sarah Kurducky from Sir Galahad, and then last but not least, Ryan Teely as state master counselor. So to all of you, big congratulations. Sorry that we couldn't actually do elections, but being that there was only one person that had submitted intent to run for each of those positions, I used executive officer superpowers and declared you guys elected to just kind of make this a little easier right now. And so I don't want any of you guys to think that that should mean you're any less elected. The proof is going to be in the pudding, and that's going to be in your service to the members moving forward here. There has been some changes to the state officer corps. So as you may have heard, so there's a state chaplain, there's a state marshal, there is going to be additional appointees. I know Ryan is already been working with his state officer group on those appointees, and I expect that we will see some information out from Ryan about what his whole state officer corps is going to look like. It's going to be bigger than it has been in the past, but I think that potentially has will give them the ability to spread the load a little bit and hopefully accomplish some more. Maybe even Ryan, maybe by show of thumbs up, I don't know, do you want to maybe address that a little bit today as well to the group? Okay, all right, so we'll get you on there in a minute as well here. Originally we thought we were going to have to run elections for State Sweetheart. We had two young ladies. So we had looked at a online election tool or voting tool called Election Runner. We ran a couple of quick tests with the state officers. Looked like it was going to actually work pretty well, but one of the young ladies decided she did not want to run at this time, so that eliminated that need. So that's where we are with that. So at this point, if anyone has any questions, I believe you can unmute yourself if you'd like to jump on for a question before we switch over to Dad Wells here. Don't all talk at once. Going once, going twice. Okay, all right. We're going to go ahead and jump over to Dad Wells then, and he's going to talk a little bit about the Minecraft server that we've set up. So if there are advisors that don't know what this all is, hopefully Dad Wells can give us a little insight. And for you members that may not have heard about it yet, Dad Wells can maybe give you some insight on how to get on and what that's all about.
Okay, so one moment. Okay, so the Wisconsin DMLA Minecraft server went live last week, thanks to the work of Dad Bryce and myself. We worked on getting that kind of set up for the members. It is a Java Edition Minecraft server, so what that means is you have to have it on the PC or Mac under the Java Edition version of Minecraft. I was talking with Cindy before the meeting started, and I'm not 100% sure, but if you own the Windows edition of Minecraft, I believe you can email the company their support and they can give you a code for the Java edition. Don't quote me on that 100% because, like I said, I'm not sure. But it does cost $25 as a one-time payment to have that game. But there's so much that you can do on it for the guys who want to play it, not only just on the Wisconsin DMLA server, but on other servers that you can find throughout the internet. There's a bunch of mini games, player versus player stuff. all of that. But I'm going to drop the IP address for connecting in the chat here for those who want to get on. And it's widmalay.mc.gg for those who want to join. And I think I can pull it up real quick and just give you guys kind of a look into it. Just give me one moment while that happens. But the idea with it right now, while this is loading, is we plan on having kind of in-game events planned throughout the next couple of months. It's going to start off small. Kind of an idea that I have currently is just doing a hedge maze through the game itself, and players basically start at the beginning, and throughout the maze you can find different items and stuff, just goodies to kind of reward them for coming on and playing. So I know that people I know Nevis has been playing a lot, Tyler has been playing a lot, me and Bryce have been on there, and some of the guys from Chippewa Valley. So come on up and join us. I just sent that to Gavin. Sorry. Everyone in the meeting. There we go. Copy. There you go. That's the IP address there. So let me log on real quick, and I should be able to share my screen. Share screen. Screen one. There we are. Okay, so this is the Minecraft server. When you first log in, Minecraft is a block-based survival game. So we have our little spawn area here, which just a little area for members to kind of be welcomed. There's a little tutorial area to help you with the game and specifically the server itself. And we just have little nice aesthetics, I guess you could say, for the spawn. There's a little shop where you can buy stuff, as well as what is a work in progress is the Masonic Lodge, which is currently under construction. So you cannot enter that. But once we get that done, it will be open, and members, if they want to, can hold virtual meetings in there. Just a cool little thing to add to the aesthetic of everything with it. So pretty simple. Go out into the world, survive, build your own house, build whatever you want. Just make sure you follow the rules, which are located over in the tutorial building. So that's the Minecraft server in a nutshell. If there are any questions, feel free to ask me now or later, whatever you want. That's all I have on that. Hello? Oh.
Okay. So looks like we're good there. Thank you, Dad Wells, for all your work, and also the guys that were helping you on that to bring that up. And O'Reilly jumped on it for a little bit, and he was pretty excited about that. So with that, Ryan, do you want to jump in at this point and maybe just give us a little primer about what your thoughts are so far, and what your state line is shaping up like?
Sure. I don't want to say too much because my team and I have been discussing a lot of the plans and the term plan a lot. And we have a lot of good ideas floating around. And so I don't want to be presumptuous in anything, but I can assure you that I'm really happy with the team that we have here. Everybody is experienced and shows a lot of great potential. And I think we're going to have a really good year with it. Thank you to everybody that reached out to me or any of the other elected officers and congratulated us. We really appreciate it. In terms of what the state line is going to look like Dad Graves said, we have an expanded line this year, a lot of appointed officers. And so I can say that almost every position has been filled so far. And I think over the next few weeks, once the team and I meet once or twice more to finalize it all, that can be released. And then, of course, we'll put things on paper for whenever we decide to do planning weekend or whatever. But so yeah, I like to say that we have a lot of good stuff planned. The team is shaping up to we're almost there. Almost every position has been filled. And I'm really happy for it. I think we have a good mixture of older guys and younger guys to really spread that institutional knowledge. So it's going really well. And if anybody ever has any questions or comments, ideas, shoot them my way. I'd appreciate it. So.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. All right. At this point then, SMC Joe, do you want to say a few words and see if we can generate some discussion on those other topics?
Yes. I'm spotlighted for sorry, I just got a little message on the screen. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. It's definitely been an interesting couple of months, to say the least. I just want to give a little update on what me and my team have been doing during these times. Like Dad DeGrave mentioned, we are planning on Conclave still happening, and we are moving full steam ahead on that one. We're trying to wrap up as much as we can sooner rather than later. And we are also working on a contingency plan on the off chance that the stay-at-home order does go into July. Again, we don't know, but we will have a contingency plan ready for that. And we also recorded the first episode of the Wisconsin Demon Light podcast. That'll hopefully be going up soon. Still working out a few things with that, but look out for that. And then on the topic of possible things to do over these online sessions, one of the big things I've noticed, I've done quite a few of these now, both with DMLA and college classes. One thing that really just livens up the meeting is just like, playing some fun games or just lightening the mood in any way you can. I know Jackbox is a online game you can play with your friends over computers or phones that you can share through Zoom. The Priory Boys actually did that last night, which was really fun. There's also a lot of other online games you can possibly do during a meeting or anytime you just want to meet up with your friends online. Me and some of the other state officers have worked with those. It's a pretty good time. The resources to liven up these meetings, I would say, isn't that far out of reach. Honestly, a quick Google search will get you really far with that. Yeah, would anyone like to jump in and say things they have done with work or any things their chapters have done that has really helped them out?
Dorg chapter has held a couple of online obligation workshops with our younger members. That's one way we've been keeping them active. We're also working on getting a virtual scavenger hunt underway for us after one of our meetings, and we're planning a movie night sometime within the next 2 weeks that anyone here is invited to as well. There will be a link posted on our Facebook page at that time. That's what we've done so far. We're just trying to make sure that the boys know that we're all here and that we're doing pretty good, and just kind of keep it on.
That actually sounds very good. Would anyone else like to jump in on that?
Yeah. You already mentioned Jackbox. It's a great way for so yesterday night the Priory had a meeting where we caught up on some business. I went through a quick agenda with everybody, and then Dad Workman happens to have a bunch of different Jackbox games. We all hopped on there, and the easiest way to win was to make fun of me. So I cried a little last night because of that, but it was really fun. It was good to catch up with everybody. I think the point is just to really diversify, try new things. Everything is difficult for all of us, so just try new things and make fun of Ryan as often as you can.
Yes,
Have-
thank you, Ryan. I hope those emotional wounds will heal eventually. Anything else? Any other ideas that have been thrown around in chapters or just in general?
Kenosha we weren't able to do it on his birthday, but one of our boys had his golden birthday. He turned 13 on the 13th, but we weren't able to do it until this past weekend. We just met up in a parking lot and put signs on our cars and stuff, and then we kind of drove by his house as a surprise. He didn't know we were coming, but his parents did, and kind of drove threw gifts and cards out the windows, and went on our way back home then. So he was very, surprised by it and stuff. So, it's kind of hard to celebrate a birthday, and especially your golden birthday, and be quarantined. So the parents were very happy that we did something. So it was a lot of fun.
All right.
Has anyone been attending or trying to attend, or I should say, visit other chapters or other jurisdictions? I know a lot of, if you look on Facebook, there's been a lot of other jurisdictions that have been putting their meeting info out there. This is an opportunity to meet people that we wouldn't normally have a chance. Is anyone taking advantage of that?
See if that works. I've been going to Wayback Wednesday, which is sponsored by the ISC, which is kind of an interesting little gambit because they have been reading the minutes of Mother Chapter at every meeting. And last Wednesday, I had to ask a question relative to Lois Lauer, who was the first DMLA. And I had to ask the question because the historical accounts say that his father had passed away a year earlier. Okay, wait a minute now. World War I, the flu of 1918, and fortunately, Christian Moore had the answer to exactly how his father had passed away, which had nothing to do with that.
Interesting. Anyone else been able to participate in anything like that? I know those Wayback Wednesdays are good. I know Riley and I jumped on to the DI game night a week ago. That was a good time as well. Has anyone else found anything that they want to share?
We didn't join another meeting, but I was going to ask Joe if he wanted to talk about what GDB is doing over the weekend that we were supposed to hold testimonial.
Yes. So I just found out about this this past Wednesday. So with testimonial, obviously not being able to happen on the day we originally planned it, the planned caterer for the event was actually my uncle, who owns a small chain of chicken stores throughout Southeast Wisconsin called Golden Chicken. And so unfortunately we couldn't have him cater for that day. However, our GDB decided that they were going to take the funds for catering, roughly $300, and give it to the chicken store in order to give meals to the hospital. So GDB will be paying for meals for hospital workers through Golden Chicken. And yeah, I found out about that on Wednesday, and I was smiling like the biggest goof you've ever seen.
That is super cool. What a great way to take a bag of lemons and make some lemonade. Nicely done. I did see Arizona has been doing a lot of online stuff. If you get on the Arizona DMLA web or their Facebook page, I saw that there's a bunch of their guys that have set up some Dungeons and Dragon groups, and they recognize that there's some people out there that probably don't know what Dungeons and Dragons are, how it's played. So next Wednesday they're having a Dungeons and Dragons or D&D primer Zoom meeting, or actually I think it's a Discord meeting. So if any of our guys might be interested in learning a little more about D&D, or if you're already into it, you maybe want to meet up with some Arizona guys to roll for initiative, that's an option. I know Dakota's probably drooling a little bit, as is Dad Phil, and I may find myself on there as well. So that's kind of a cool thing I saw hanging out there. I know there's other things like there's Netflix watch parties. Some of the I read about some guys. Not that I'm encouraging you guys to go out and start underground poker games, but some guys that used to get together and play poker every week couldn't do that, so they basically all got on a online game site, like a poker game site, and then they just all FaceTimed each other on their phones or Skyped or something like that. So that was kind of interesting. I'm sure we could come up with maybe a cribbage version of that or something, maybe some spades, something less poker-like. So anything else? Anyone got any other ideas of something else that maybe we could throw out to the state officers to try to set up and get working for us?
Not a different idea, but I do have to plug in our game night for next Thursday as per Mom Sorensen's request. It's going to be at 6:30, and all the chapters are invited. She made a Facebook page for it, and the Zoom code will be posted on that date. That is next Thursday.
Excellent. And that's going to go to the private Facebook pages?
It's on our private Facebook page. We can probably communicate that on the others. Yes.
Yeah, just to make sure we don't. That's one of the big things is we want to make sure that if
we do not want to share Zoom codes.
Right. So those meeting IDs, etc. We're trying to keep those within people that we know for sure are part of the organization.
Yes.
Youth protection is still a concern that we have to take very seriously. So, but thank you for doing that. And you said what night is that again, Mitch?
I'm sorry, that's going to be Thursday night.
Thursday night. All right. So all you prospective D&D geeks can jump in on that meeting and not miss out on Doric's event as well.
Yes, thank you. Can't wait to see everyone.
All right. Anything else? All right, everyone, a little shorter meeting tonight or this afternoon, but hopefully it gets everybody kind of caught up. For you state staff members, we are still going to do our normal state staff Zoom meeting tomorrow. So if anybody has any info they would like to or concerns, agenda items that they'd like to make sure that we discuss, get those to me or Dad Wells. We'll get it on the agenda. Other than that, we will see you all then. Thank you all for jumping on the call tonight.
Yep, have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night,
You're
everyone.
welcome.
Thank you. Good to see everyone.